Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. All right, today it's a two-part parallel. We're probably going to read both parts because it's kind of short. Roman soldiers mocked Jesus. We're going to start off in Matthew chapter 27, starting at verse 27. Some of the governor's soldiers took Jesus into their headquarters and called out the entire regiment. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. They wove thorn branches into a crown and put it on his head, and they placed a reed stick in his right hand as a scepter. Then they knelt before him in mockery and taunted, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they spit on him and grabbed a stick and struck him on the head with it. Then when they were finally tired of mocking him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him again. Then they led him away to be crucified. From there we go to Mark chapter 15, starting at verse 16. The soldiers took Jesus into the courtyard of the governor's headquarters, called the Praetorium, and called out the entire regiment. They dressed him in a purple robe, and they wove thorn branches into a crown and put it on his head. Then they saluted him and taunted, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they struck him on the head with the reed stick, spit on him, and dropped to their knees in mock worship. When they were finally tired of mocking him, they took off the purple robe and put his own clothes back on him again. Then they led him away to be crucified. Now the commentary for Matthew. A regiment was a division of the Roman legion containing about 200 men. Jeepers, that's a lot of guys standing around.
Yeah.
And now the commentary from Mark. The brutal guards, the power-hungry governor, and the conniving religious leaders had the upper hand, but they did not know the true power and authority of the man they were torturing and had condemned to death. Worldly powers and philosophies that mock Jesus' lordship, will not be so arrogant when Jesus returns in judgment. See Philippians 2, chapter 2, verses 10 and 11. When you feel that unjust people with control and viewpoints hostile to Christianity are carrying the day, rest assured that Jesus holds the highest place and will return in glory. Can't wait for that. It's getting out of control right now in this world.
It is, and you know that there's been recent talk, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, or even what country you're in, because there's been talk of other countries too about how the police or the military are just doing what they're told, and they're not having any say of what's wrong, and they're not objecting. But then you can see in the Bible here, there's 200 guards, and you know there might have been someone in the regime that thought this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this, but they wouldn't stand up against the other guards.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make the point of stuff that's happening today was also happening back then. It's not nothing new.
No, it's not.
And we think that it's all like, well, you know, the world's gone crazy and the world's gone mad because look, nobody will stand up against the other. But it's been like this since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough place to be, but you know, Jesus assures us that those who endure till the end will, get a harvest of glory, and that's what we're trying to do.
And we need to learn from this and know that we need to stand up against the mob, stand up against the peer pressure and the all the things. And even if the society says this is what you should be doing, but you know it's wrong, then you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because you know Christ, the Holy Spirit will convict you of what's right and wrong, and you know even though we will be forgiven if we ask for it, but we still shouldn't do it.
True, very true. Yeah, we are forgiven of all things except for blaspheming the Holy Spirit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we should do it. Paul explains that later, that just because we can do it doesn't mean that we should do it. You know.
Right.
all things will be forgiven, that doesn't give you a free license to go out and just do whatever you want either.
Right. The only thing that's not forgiven is rejecting Him.
Yep.
But it doesn't give us a free ticket. We still have consequences for our actions, and we still have,
Yep.
we want to demonstrate the love of Christ to others.
Yeah.
And if we're acting like the crowd in a bad situation, that's not going to be a good witness or a good demonstration of Christ's love.
Right, exactly. Okay, hope everybody has a glorious day, and we'll talk to you later.